if you return an item with the firm, you kind of have a chance that you might not get the money resolved. You know, it's really cut and dry, man. It's just my experience was I tried to return a product, and somehow or another I was under the impression that it was an easy 1, 2, 3 thing. You return it, you get your money back, everything's fine and dandy. Of course, the numbers somehow changed, and I don't know if that's under the firms or if that's a store problem, but it now is a situation where I'm stuck paying for a bill. So my recommend, I guess my to summarize it is to say that if you buy something with a firm, you gotta have a hard time returning the product and make sure your numbers are correct, your credit card numbers are accurate, and you pretty much on your own when it comes to using the firm credit card service. I purchased a generator at Harbor Freight um, with my Affirm virtual card. And when I went to do that, somehow the numbers changed. The number somehow, the number that the Affirm gave me was different than the numbers that I used for the purchase. And I had no aware of that until I tried to return it. And that's when I found out I had two different numbers. So I told, trying to return it, I was supposed to get my money back and not have to pay Affirm the the payment, paying it back because I didn't have the product anymore. So Affirm said that the numbers didn't match, which I kind of already knew that, but I said still it was under your, you're the one that gave me the loan. So I felt like they should have had some kind of way of knowing how the numbers got switched, which they didn't. So I called the store. I was on the phone with the store for about a couple of months, and they couldn't help me because they thought it was something that they never heard before, and they didn't understand how the numbers changed. So my thing was, it was under a firm's. Um, they're the one that allowed it to happen, so they should investigate it and try to figure out what's going on, not me, because I don't have any control of those numbers and that whole thing. I'm sure there's a database with those transactions, but I wouldn't have that. So a firm wasn't trying to help me at all. They basically said, "Listen, we don't have the numbers, so you're gonna have to pay this money back," and that was it. I reached out to those guys at least like 20 times over the course of 3 months, and they all said the same thing. They filed a resolution claim, but nothing came out of it. I spoke with the store, Harbor Freight. They did the same thing. So I stumbled on this pissed off account thing here, and I decided to give this a shot. It's supposed to be automatically. Like once you go online and you put in the store's name off your phone, and you tell them how much you want to borrow, and then they give you the okay. They give you the yes or no. So they told me I put in 400, and they told me they basically said, sure, yeah, you can do it. So they gave me a virtual card. This happened within 10, 15 minutes. This was instant. So they gave me the virtual card number, which I've done before in the past with other stores. Um, so they gave me the virtual card number. I didn't look at the card number. I just assumed that everything was worked out because it was on my phone. When I went to pay for the generator, I gave him my phone. He scanned my phone, and that was all I did, and it went through. So that was it. But somehow or another, I never looked at the numbers because I never thought I had to. Because it was like you do everything off of your phone. You give me the numbers. I wouldn't know to look at the credit numbers. I wouldn't know to look at those credit card numbers. I just thought it was already everything was worked out the way it was supposed to work out. So that was pretty much it. I mean, there was nothing else to it. Just I asked for a loan. They gave it to me. I used my phone to buy it, and I left the store. A week later, I realized I didn't need a generator. I didn't need it. So I tried to return it. That was no problem until about 2 months later. I saw that. Well, a month later, I saw that I still had to pay the money back to a firm. And that's when I reached out to them and said, hey, what's the holdup? I already returned it. Here's my receipts. Here's my documentation. Here's everything. Here's the, same thing I'm telling you. I told them, and they said, well, they'll look into it. It takes a while to do a return. So I was hoping that, okay, it's just taking a while. This happened the same time the coronavirus kind of came out, so everybody wasn't working. So I understood it's going to be a while because nobody's really working how they normally do things. So I wasn't really worried about it until they told me that they told me this, that there's nothing that they can do. I still got to pay back the money, and I was like, hold up, wait a minute, what do you mean? So that was it. I mean, check everything. Check your numbers. Don't think that uh, they're they basically have your best interest, because they really don't. They're just it's really they're like a third party. I think it's the bank who gives you the money, who you have to really watch out for, and But my recommendation is not use them at all. You know what I'm saying? To be perfectly honest with you. It's like a PayPal account. Once you buy anything with PayPal, PayPal kind of is responsible for that payment, until something happens, and all of a sudden you stuck in this position.